What is up, man? It is Xpriest, and I am happy as hell to be back. What up, fellas?
What is going on? It is Broke Gamer, and it is also very nice to be back again.
Yeah, what's up, guys? This is Deeds. You know, it's been a little while since even the three of us have been in this pot. So,
yeah,
it's nice to really wanted to make it happen tonight to get this done. So,
exactly, we have to go late night.
We did
late
a little
night.
late,
that's right.
Little late night jazz session.
This is after hours. I've got my adult beverage right here. Relaxing.
Slow jams going in the background.
Don't drink and cast.
My hands are directly on the wheel.
Exactly. Soul was supposed to join us, but he is celebrating his birthday extravaganza in Las Vegas, having a good ass time. And I hope you guys checked him out on The Voice. As you know, Soul didn't make it to that next round, but it's their loss. Man, it's tragic on how they do songs, whatever. And tell you about you don't connect with a song or whatever. And
I wanna have a conversation with him about that, because I feel like I've heard him do better songs, and for him to go with that one, was that their choice? Was it The Voice's choice?
Solely The Voice's choice, which is the unheard of. You know, I'm breaking it right here. You know how Xpriest does it. Shots fired. Get a little bit of
What you talking about?
Yeah, what was it? Can we uncork the seal on this situation? Because we've been hush about this mess for like 3 or 4 months now, maybe longer.
Yeah, because Soul couldn't talk about it. There were months he was locked in a hotel, an undisclosed location, doing the show and all that good stuff. Again, might be letting too much out, but it does not matter as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, at this point, it's basically just kind of like it's okay now. We don't really have to worry too much.
For sure. I mean, like I said, I don't know if fans and people out there know that they do not choose their own songs, period. They are given the songs and have to learn them of what they were. And it's just not, for that particular 45-year-old song that's distinctive to a particular person's voice, Al Green, to me, that's kind of crazy and kind of, cheap swamp ass, because, give them something more contemporary or even within the last 20 years. How about that? It's kind of ridiculous. And, again, Al Green has a particular growl to his voice, a Southern twang to his voice, whatever. And songs are written specifically for his voice. And that is what it is.
Well, I'm even going to put it on that, because the thing is that, I guess I don't come from a background where I know too many Al Green songs. I just kind of know the classics. And I feel like this one was one that I just didn't recognize.
Yeah.
And so, for them to pick a song that's just kind of so buried for him, it feels kind of like a letdown when they definitely could have gone with something more contemporary that would have matched his vocal talents.
Oh, for sure. Not even a question. And then for John Legend to say, you got to connect with the song. And you have to, make sure you pick the right song or whatever. You knew damn well.
That is a dirty play right there. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. For the TV. You know how they do it.
No green light for you, Mr. John Legend.
Exactly. You won't be on our podcast. But anyways.
But yeah, we know he's good, and the thing is that he's performing around here in Sacramento, so I know a lot of people inside of the food scene now, surprisingly, and so I've been sending them souls away whenever anything pops up. Whenever he's performing at a cafe or something, I'll usually be like, hey, you like this kind of music? Because I'll play 2000s R&B and stuff, and I'll be like, there's a guy in Sacramento here who sounds just as good, if not better, live. Go check him out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, he has some stuff coming, I would love to give you guys a sneak peek of, stuff out there, but he has some stuff coming. So maybe when he comes back, whatever, we'll probably drop, a track or two, or just, play, a little lead into some stuff, whatever. But he's coming back with a vengeance just because he's pissed. So just basically.
Yeah, I can't wait to get the breakdown from him when he's on the show, because we'll have some tea about this.
Oh, yeah. For sure. All right, well, let's go ahead and hit the people with the show bumper or whatever. Give them that Broke Gamer information, and we'll be back.
Yo, it's Broke Gamer. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever else you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and hit us up at ethergamerradio@gmail.com.
All right. Well, I don't know what everybody's situation has been. Everybody's been busy, been working, been having medical issues, whatever, from my fam on my side of things, whatever. But since this is like a late night production, let's just get right into it, fellas. What you been playing? All right. Who wants to go first?
I will go first.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm really excited that I got to play a game that I played when I was a child. I had my purple Game Boy Color. It's the first ever handheld gaming system that I received when I moved to the United States. It was a Christmas gift that I got from my parents. It came with one copy of Pokemon Blue and one copy of Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening DX for the Game Boy Color. And I beat both games very quickly. And it was crazy because I wasn't really aware of how much of an impact Link's Awakening would have on my life until I kind of sat down and I'm looking at, 20 years later or a little bit more than that. But around that time, I'm looking at how long it's been since I played that game. And it was like having weird, dream nostalgia. It's like when you go somewhere that you've been to when you were a kid, but obviously it's an upgraded version of it. They've added some quality of life upgrades and they've made it just kind of like a more pleasant experience for newer generations. And it was really cool to just kind of be able to go through all of that. It was a well laid out Zelda game. It has all of the hallmarks, the different dungeons that you do, getting an item, beating dungeons a certain way. You have to get the map, you have to get the compass. The beak is something that I'd forgotten about, but it's an item that kind of gives you hints as you go to these owl statues. All these things that are just hallmark to that specific game. And then I know a lot of people don't like it because of the way that it kind of wraps itself up. And I'm not really going to spoil it because there's a whole new generation of people who might just be getting into this game.
Definitely don't spoil it because but I didn't play this game.
Yeah, don't. It's an interesting direction for the Zelda series, considering it was the third or fourth game in the installment of all the Zelda games. Because Zelda's kind of like a weird time travel-y / alternate dimension series. So for anybody who wants to learn more about that, there's a series of articles online that you can follow through where they lay out exactly how the universe splits, the time travel segments, and the different versions of Hyrule that happen depending on what game you ended up beating and where that line went. It's actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's funny because I was reading a little bit about Link's Awakening. People actually say for story goes, that was actually one of the better written Zeldas, and that was actually one of the last ones that Koizumi wrote, who went on to eventually take over the Mario series and do Galaxy and Odyssey and stuff like that. And I don't know, but I can't really remember the story of Link's Awakening because I actually didn't play much of it. I played portions, but I never played all the way through. And I'm just trying to remember how tonally it's different. But apparently it's pretty tonally different from the Zeldas like a Breath of the Wild and the later ones. But I don't know. It's cool because the remake, you can kind of see, it's amazing how just a new coat of paint, even on old game design, just still is a brand new game and great to play.
Yeah, but it's more than that. The coat of paint still doesn't take away from the fact that it has great bones. It's reskinned, but it has an excellent structure for story, how the game is done. There's a few places where it kind of doesn't really make sense what you're supposed to do, so I had to kind of go online and see what I was supposed to do to get past a certain part.
Oh yeah, but that happens quite often, especially if you didn't play the first one.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that I played the first version, but it had been so long that I was kind of remembering what the key points were. But if there was a room where I had to defeat a certain enemy a certain way, I would just rush right past that thinking that I was okay, and then I'd get stuck because it's crazy how they build the Zelda levels. I'm still trying to kind of figure out mentally how they do it because the dungeons are built in a way where you're always going to be led into the rooms you're supposed to go to, more or less. They give you some free agency to wander around and discover some dead ends, but you more or less always find the right pieces at the right time. And if you don't, then you get stuck. And that's usually when it's kind of shitty to end up there because you have to keep running around the dungeon in circles trying to figure out which room you didn't defeat to get the key that was in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that's but that's just kind of like a Zelda thing. Sometimes that will happen. But overall, I would give this remake I'd say it's a remake, high score, thumbs up. The only problem that I have with it is just like PC level problems, where basically like their frame rates were very unstable depending on what area you were in.
Yeah.
Besides that, it's a beautiful game.
Yeah,
it's everything is locked in place like it should be, but it's so unstable. Like you could literally go from the main area and then go one screen over to the place that's right next to it. When you travel from May Village to the Ukuku Prairie, or it's right to the west of that, or east of that, there's a bunch of grass there and trees and moving enemies, and it just causes the frame rates to instantly dip.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of it's upsetting, because it's like you're already in a world where you don't have to worry about that effect that used to happen before because of limitations, where you would travel one square of map at a time. Now you're free to wander the map as you'd like, and the only time that you do square by square travel is in the dungeons. But that's kind of what you've always expected out of a 2D Zelda. So it's just kind of that's the only really like weird point in the game for me. But besides that, high marks.
Yeah,
they should definitely do more of the older versions like that.
Oh, for sure. I would love that.
They've done the last one that they did was the new one that was for the 3DS, right? Link Between Worlds.
Was that no? I think that was
that wasn't a remake. But that was a new game.
Yeah, that was a new game. I have that one for the DS. Yeah, and that one was very well done. It got high marks as well too from just about everybody who played it in terms of like video game critics, just because of how creative it was with its use of the 3D aspect and the ability to be able to stick yourself to walls and travel, in a three-dimensional world from a 2D point kind of.
It was very good. Yeah, no, it was very creative. But Digital Foundry goes into depth about the performance issues of that game, and it's interesting because it's a very good looking game for the Switch. It's actually a very good looking game, so it's not surprising that it has the issues that it has, especially with the real time streaming and everything like that. But I definitely want to pick it up for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I don't know if I think that it's a $60 game, but it's definitely, I'd say it's like a $40 game. I would say that.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to let nostalgia get in the way of good budgets.
Well, for one, what I do like about Switch games or Nintendo games in general, they hold their price. So you'll be waiting for a while if you try to get it at $39. Black Friday or whatever, you'll probably catch it in the lower price, whatever. But even then, last year they didn't even lower their prices for the Switch games.
It's got to be a super deal. I mean, even if you go online on like Amazon, you're probably going to get like games from the first gen of like Switch release for $9 off at most. Like they really do hold their value, especially if they're part of like the main IPs in any of Nintendo's IP library. So Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Kirby, Mario, any of the big hitters aren't going to ever really drop in price, especially if it's any of the popular multiplayer games like Mario Party.
Yeah.
Or Mario Kart.
Yep.
Mario Kart never goes down in price.
No.
Well, you can always get the iOS version. That's out. It's pretty cool.
I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Got to link your account to it. It's free. I think as you level up with different tracks and different vehicles and all that, I think it does start costing or whatever, but for the most part it's free, and that's really good.
I'm surprised. I didn't even remember that, because I remember that I saw a thing on Google where they were like announcing it by making your Google Maps icon, instead of it being your dot, it would turn it into Mario in a cart.
Yeah.
But that was the last I heard of that, so it's crazy that it actually came out.
I forgot about it also, but what I did is I pre-ordered it on iOS, and it's free, but it was just once it became available, it hit you and said, oh, this is now available if you want to download it. So yeah, I like that little new feature iOS has.
I'll have to check that out.
All right, so is that the stint of your playing, bro?
Well, no, that was the main amount of gaming that I've been doing, because now that I have the upgraded Switch, I am able to enjoy hours of battery life. My Switch actually isn't on the dock right now. It's on my nightstand, because I'll take it to bed now and just play some games before bed to unwind. So yeah, it's kind of nice to not have that fear anymore. But I've on the Xbox, my other gaming console that I have as well, I've been actually playing Borderlands 3. So I know that there was a lot of discussion, not really on the podcast, but in the podcast chat. You guys were talking about how you might not really be into whatever's going on with Borderlands 3, but then I saw that Xpriest, you were...
Wait a minute.
What you talking about?
I know
That's
you want
right.
to talk about me because no, I think Borderlands is
Do I
amazing.
have to scrub this chat to see that you were about to remove your pre-order from that?
Homie, you better
I know that was me for sure.
You better scrub that because that was not me whatsoever.
All right.
One, I'm a diehard Borderlands enthusiast, and but no, that was not me. I know Soul said that or whatever. Jordan was probably the last one, but I know Soul did say that for sure. He was not going to buy it, but he came by the pad and he was like, I got to get that. Like he was gonna pre-order it that night, but he was leaving for Vegas a day and a half or so, and I don't think he got it, but he definitely will be purchasing that title.
Yeah, so let's. I think we can, since it's this is going to be my last thing that I've been playing, but we can transition from me to what you've been playing by just kind of linking this one together.
Okay.
And I just, what I have to say about the game is that it's exactly what I expected it to be. It's another Borderlands game. A lot of people are like upset because it wasn't like revolutionary or it isn't doing anything extremely new. But I mean, I'm not mad at that. Like I wasn't asking for that. I know that it's been a pretty long time since the last iteration of Borderlands, but the formula works, especially if you play with people who are kind of used to playing, the game as it is, and you just want more of the story and the universe, because that's what a lot of people are there for. Yeah. They really, really like those characters, and they like the structure of the games, and they like that weird humor, and they're into that. And what I'm noticing now is that that's like it's not innovative, but the game does feel new. It feels fresh. Some of the skills could be rebalanced. Some of the classes are better than others. There's a lot of people saying that Flak
always adjusting that or whatever.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that some people are saying that Flak is the best character because endgame you can build a crazy crit combo. Yeah. But just wait, they're going to balance everybody out. They're going to release some DLC. There's probably going to be new guns. There's guns that probably haven't even been discovered yet that are inside of the actual game because there are so many guns inside of this game that it's just kind of it's you get what you get.
Like billions, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, billions of guns. So. I'm not really gonna give too much ground to the initial haters of the game that were saying that it was just more of the same. But what I will say is that I think it's inexcusable for the game to struggle at 30 frames per second when you put it in 4K mode.
Not even a question.
Yeah, it's inexcusable. They released that game at 80% done if that's how it looks. Because I just gotten done playing that beautiful, beautiful optimized game, Gears of War 5, and I went to my Xbox expecting to enjoy Borderlands 3, and instead what I got was just kind of like an immediate immersion destroying experience. Like I went from the way that it felt playing one game and transferring over to the other and just feeling like somebody lowered the gear while my car was at full speed and just like completely broke it down. Like it was so hard to get used to it that I had to knock it down to it was performance mode instead of resolution mode, because at least on performance mode it feels like it should, as opposed to on resolution mode where it just feels like everything smears whenever you turn. And eventually it did get better. Like I got used to it. I'm not going to say that the game itself did any work. I just eventually adjusted to it. But
they've been patching it, but nothing crucial that actually help with frame rate and all that stuff. Right now they're doing more balancing issues. I know there's a really big patch coming in hot pretty soon here, and will fix a lot of those issues. So we'll stay tuned for that.
All right. Well, that's kind of what I'm waiting for right now. I also want there desperately, because I'm not going to buy the PC version until it becomes available on probably if Steam, and then hopefully the Microsoft Store will start selling it on their actual Game Pass platform or whatever they're going to do, because I know that it's locked to Epic for 6 months.
Yeah.
Because when that happens, I'll definitely jump on board on the PC. I just don't want to play it with a controller anymore. I'm so used to using a mouse now that anything that is even close to a shooter, I really don't want to mess with unless I can use a mouse, and there isn't mouse compatibility on that game. Like I took my mouse and my keyboard out there and I hooked it up to my Xbox, and the keyboard worked fine, but the mouse wasn't even registering in that game.
Yeah. Things like that, I don't understand based upon the time they've been, working on this game. So I just don't know if there were things that they just, it's like, what, we can't put out right now until we get this stuff locked and fixed. And then at some point or whatever, we're going to go ahead and throw it out, the a la No Man's Sky, but in in smaller, quicker steps, in the sense of these patches are coming faster than waiting a year for some of this stability and, frame rate issues and all that. All right, well, we'll go ahead and transition to me.
Whoop, sorry about that. My phone just started going off.
Oh, Brooks, the main one. Check your phones for the show.
I know. I straight up told before the show started, I told Thiege to check his phone because he his phone went off on the last episode that we recorded, and now I'm over here looking at my phone and it starts going off. So hit me with some bad noise here.
Yep, he's drinking while casting. I told you, watch that. But no. Okay, play Gears. Mm-hmm. Gears is what I live for when it comes to visuals. I mean, it's just a visual fest, feast. When it comes to visuals, frame rate, just solid core gameplay, solid visuals. I mean, everything about that is amazing. Okay, right off the top, not even a question. But how broke that we've already talked about Borderlands, the issues that it has, the for a game that's just been released or whatever to not have the character balancing issues right off the top that are kind of extreme to a degree. And especially when it comes to the weapons and all that stuff, and then all the, the cheats that people are doing, unplugging stuff and, running email, keys. And then, there's this thing where you basically go offline, set up your email, go ahead and get the key, then the key stays or whatever. If you just stay offline or whatever, get back online, get offline, just like some kind of sequence. Check it out if you're really interested in that stuff. I'm not really, because there's too many guns and too much going on with that game to worry about all these cheats and all that stuff. But there's something about this game, man. It's so interesting about how when you have that special sauce. Like I said, I've been playing Gears. Haven't finished it yet because I got just craziness going on at the homestead. But the game that I keep going back to, even over Link, even over Destiny's Shadowkeep just dropped or whatever, I keep going back to Borderlands. That game is just freaking fun. I don't know what it is about it. It's just fun. I know people hate the slapstick, hot, juicy, freaking dialogue, and they think it's cringeworthy and all that stuff, which it is to a degree. But I'm, into that whole, Simpsons style of slapstick, whatever anime humor. Not anime and anime, but just animation humor.
Animated, just kind of that very over the top.
Yeah, exactly. And again, because it's just in its own little world. You know what I'm saying? So I take it for what it is in its own little universe or whatever. And I loved all the other Borderlands. So so to me, it's just freaking fun. I like the bosses. I mean, these bosses do all kind of craziness when you're fighting them, and they're actually hard. I mean, when you start, it's only on easy and normal, and then once you pass normal, whatever, you get to open up a lot more harder routes and all that stuff.
They have like the mayhem tree, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I love how with co-op, people can just drop in. If you're having problems with a boss, you can just basically ask somebody for help, and it'll be random, and people can drop in and all that stuff. You can either share your loot or not share your loot. You can pick that or whatever before you start. But I like it. It's just something. It's just freaking fun. I don't know what it is. I love the feel of the guns. They're not too crazy. Okay, yeah, you're right about the just throwing it right up covers his face. With Thiege put up a link, and it just took over.
Yeah, another thing behind the curtain thing is that any time that anybody posts a link or anything, it immediately covers the person's face and just throws a link up.
Happening? Okay, but anyways, it's just freaking fun. I don't know what it is. I mean, Gears. Every time I'll go play Gears, but then I'm playing, I'm like, you know what? I'd rather play Borderlands. And frame rate problems, pop in problems, stuff that's hella close or whatever is popping in. And, all that stuff, whatever. But still, for some reason, in the secret sauce of however that game is made, it just makes you, it's probably some wizardry or some warlock business happening in the background. But yeah, I've been just, playing that game, whatever, rolled 2 different characters. One's like, I think around 20, and then one I just rolled just probably around 5 or so, which is Flak. And I love Flak's commentary. It's freaking amazing. Yeah,
it's Flak is great. I went with Flak right out the gate. I was split in between Flak and I already forgot the other dude's name. The guy who can clone himself.
Oh, yeah.
Zane? I think his name's Zane. Yeah, so I was split between those two because I like the idea of like a spy gunner operative.
Yeah.
But I like the robot character. After playing a Zero in 2, I was like, let's go down the robot path.
Yeah.
But yeah, you hit it on the head right there. It's got all of the secret sauce because it's good writing and it's good gameplay.
Yeah.
But there's so much visual stuff that needs to be worked out. Like when you are 10 feet away from a billboard and it is still blurry,
yeah,
something is wrong.
Exactly. No, exactly. That's true. And so, that's what I'm saying. It's so funny. You have these games that have all these issues. And you're like, hell no, I'm not playing it. No Man's Sky, all the above. And then, you totally put it down and never go back. But some reason, even games, this game has these problems, whatever, it just still, I'm like still trying to play it. And, and normally I would just sit and wait. I was like, you know what, let me wait for the fix. And then I'll go back to play it and all that stuff, whatever. It's like, man, I don't know if it's the loot grind and how much you get in the legendary drops. I know this week or whatever they're doing, every boss, whatever, is dropping way more legendaries.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I saw that it's every week they have a new event. Like, right, this is turning into what Anthem was supposed to be.
Yeah,
am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. Because how broke Anthem was, and then but you see the forest for the trees with this title. It's just a matter of, a patch here, patch there, or whatever, and it's gonna be fixed because the bones, like you say, broke, whatever is there.
Yeah, it's solid. I gave this game 3 months before it's at maybe 98%.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some stuff that needs a little bit of rework. Sometimes fixing a certain thing causes a cascading effect that knocks off some other thing. But for the most part, if you're waiting for good news about this game, maybe wait another month or two, and I think you'll really be into it.
Yeah, because again, I know, like I said, repeated issues. Every 5 seconds here, because we throw these caveats, but
yeah.
As I'm listening to the reviews, the whole drama with the people who didn't get the game and all that or whatever, and then when I played it, I was all like, what are they talking about? To a degree,
yeah, this is just a good game.
Yeah, it's just a good game. Regardless, every game has their issues. You can see where these patches are going to be. You can see where the fixes are, going to be. It's not too far off. And I think it's fine, but yeah, that's basically what I've been playing. Because I'll jump in every other game, but then always go back to Borderlands. So that's what I've been grinding on. But I will be playing some Shadowkeep because I started it. I loaded all the new armor for all the new characters. I mean, for all 3 characters that I have. And I will be on that, and stay tuned because we might be having a Destiny semi-podcast coming soon or whatever, because Shadowkeep, it's, hearing nothing but greatness about it. So
I'm wondering how long it's going to be before Soul collapses under the weight of the immensity that is Shadowkeep and will jump in on it.
Yeah,
because he has sworn it off. No more going back to that one.
He has. I've showed him like the weapons that I got and everything. Is like, it's tight, but I'm not coming back. But then he's like, well, I might come back and play with you. You know, it's a possibility or whatever. If I need him, he'll come back. But no. I think I have to wait and see. I'm not gonna say my thoughts about it because I haven't played it yet.
Here's my question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've played it on PlayStation, you're playing it on Xbox.
Yes.
Are you going to make the transition to PC? Because as we all know, you are transferring to the upper echelons of gaming.
Well, I don't know what a true PC laptop, because I've been doing my laptop research, whatever would actually, get me. And I'm still in the air, like about, should it even be a laptop or should it just be a stand-up, a standard, unit, a PC, rig. So I'm kind of up in the air about it or whatever, because I have so much going on in here with my, 27-inch iMac and all that stuff.
And that's what I was going to say. For you, space is an issue, and laptops are perfect for space.
Oh yeah, and I need it for podcasting on the go and all that stuff. So,
So I think that wouldn't be too bad of an idea.
Yeah.
You don't really have to shoot for like a full 1000% power rig. But I think that if you have something that offers like the ability to at least be able to hit 4K and you can HDMI it onto your TV wherever you go, I think it would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a 2080 Ti, so it's going to be interesting.
2080 Ti, that's not even a small purchase, bro.
No, it's I've been finding them fairly Fairly reasonable
Hey,
prices.
if you're gonna go in, go all the way in.
Yeah, I know, right? Holy shit. Well, I mean, you've already got the OLED, and you can make use of an OLED screen with the use of a laptop that's pumping out 4K at full power.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, if you get that 2080, if you go with it, you're going to be set for another 6 or 7 years for sure, because it's already going to have RTX in the sauce, so you won't really have to worry about that.
Yep. All right, so we went long. So Thiege, what have you been playing?
So I've actually been playing a little more gaming lately. I've been taking it back quite a bit. I've been playing some Jet Set Radio Future. I don't know if you guys remember that from the original Xbox days.
Yeah.
Missed that.
I got that loaded up on my computer, PC, using CXBX Reloaded. It looks incredible. Like I've been posting pictures in the chat, but you can't really see cell shaded games. You boost up the rendering resolution to 5K, and it looks insane. Like, it doesn't look like an old game at all. It's amazing how little they age.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. It's still an incredibly fun game. I find myself playing a little bit, completing a map every time I get in at night. So I've been doing that. I've been playing Gears multiplayer as well. I played the COD multiplayer. There's been a lot of stuff since we last came.
Oh, man, I didn't even bring up COD. Okay, wait. I'm gonna stop you there only because I definitely want to bring that up. Only because, man, that game is freaking amazing. Played the multiplayer, skills, everything fell back in. Again, I'm Destiny, Crucible, Slayer and all that stuff, whatever. But all that fell back in, man. I got to level 20 probably around 4 to 5 hours for level 20. It was just, I was just on a freaking roll, dude. But I think my KD was like 2.84 or somewhere around there. So yeah, it was amazing. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, seriously, COD, that beta was fantastic. Like, they really, like I was posted in the chat, that's the first one that I liked probably since the Infinity, like the Respawn Infinity Ward days. So that was a really good one since Modern Warfare 2, probably.
Yeah.
The feeling was good. The weightiness of it. It's not as floaty as COD used to be. It's definitely weightier, more Battlefield a little bit.
Yep.
But I like it. And, it still has the speed of COD, but the weightiness of Battlefield. It's a nice mixture. I like it a lot. So I played a lot of that beta. Been playing Gears, Jet Set Radio Future, and I also picked up, just last night, actually, I picked up the Untitled Goose Game, which I'm sure you'll all see.
Oh, my God. I want to get it. That's actually the next one that I was going to pick up.
Yeah. I picked up the Untitled Goose Game, which is a nice, like, low-key little, like, puzzle comedy platformer. Not even a platformer. It's like a puzzle comedy game. It's just actually really funny. And you've probably seeing memes and GIFs everywhere of it. But I was going to play some of that tonight, actually, when we finished up. But I haven't played much of it. I played the first level. Really cute little game.
Well, okay, break down the game for me, because I've only seen the memes. I am filtering in meme information. I require actual information for it to compute.
You are a goose that is given a list of objectives to complete.
Who is the goose god giving you this list? Who's setting you up to do stuff?
It's some omnipotent something just sending you a list.
Just like the goose lord requires this of you.
He sends you a list that you have to check off, and 9 out of 10 is terrorizing the town in some way. So
does this have anything to do with golden eggs?
Nope.
So it's like, you'll get a request that says, make grandpa fall into the lake or something like that, and you have to find a way to make him, the NPC do something like chase you, or it's actually an incredibly smart game. It's really fun. Definitely check it out. It's available on PC, Mac, and Switch right now. I actually bought it on PC, which I kind of regret.
Dude, that's a Switch star. You take that on the road and you just do your silly goose games out and about. Yeah,
that's a perfect Switch game. So I kind of might rebuy it just to be completely wasteful. But,
for real? Is it at least indie priced, or is it like full price?
No, it's $15.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
Even on the Switch?
Yeah, even on Switch.
Oh, wow.
Thumbs up. I'm gonna go get it right as soon as we're done with this podcast.
Yeah, for the first, I believe we launch week, it's $15. So
it'll probably go up to 20 or 30 after that.
That's exactly what. Yeah, 20.
Yep.
So yeah, that's fun too. So that's been what I've been playing.
Okay. Well, you've been playing a little bit more than that, so we gotta let the people know you actually got the new Switch Lite. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Oh yeah. Hold on, we got played, dude.
Oh, what do you mean?
No, I didn't get the Switch Lite. I used the Switch Lite. My brother got the Switch Lite.
What? I thought you got the Switch Lite, man.
No, I was over there. I played it extensively.
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts? Because I mean, do you have the Switch regular?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so now, out of the two, because again, I've not touched it. I thought I probably should have gotten it instead of the. I did like broke. I did go for V2. I love the extra battery life is amazing. The freaking new processor is freaking quiet as hell. Even when the fans kick on, you can't even hear it. It stays way cooler longer. So yeah, that's my thing with the V2. But now tell us about the Switch Lite.
So the Switch Lite, honestly, you can't go wrong either way. Like when it first came out, you could probably listen to one of the old podcasts where I wrote the whole thing off entirely.
Yeah. And
then reviews came out, and then I used it, and I did a complete 180.
I still have it written off on my book.
Once you use it, like if you like Nintendo's handhelds and you were looking for like a Vita successor or a Game Boy Advance, more than anything, this feels like the most direct successor to the Game Boy Advance than anything so far.
Yeah.
Like it's just the size of a Vita, and it plays the Switch games that look sharper in handheld because of the pixel density of the screen. So if you like handheld, they look better now on the handheld screen. And it has like a matte plastic finish. It feels really good in the hand. And it is true to the name. It is really light. Like you can go for extent. I'm sure if any of us playing the Switch had the original one has had the Switch drop on your face when playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of us have experienced it at this point where you're just holding it up in bed and you dropped it in your face. That shit hurts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
the move. Okay, so try doing that with a full-size Samsung tablet on your face, man. I'll be reading manga in bed, and I'll just start falling asleep and just slam myself in the face with it.
Yeah, that's what I've done with the Switch. The Switch is pretty fuking heavy when you hit your face when you're falling asleep. The light is light. Like you don't even feel it when holding it. Like it is really. I've done a complete 180. If you guys go to like Best Buy or find a kiosk to give it a chance, your opinion will change completely. Like if you
pop this one on your face, it feels like butterfly kisses.
It feels like marshmallow. Like no, seriously. If you like handheld, you like playing the Switch, and you've never used TV like me, then the Switch Lite is the way to go. Save your $100, get the smaller version. It still has a better battery than the old one. It doesn't have as good as the V2 of the original size, but it still gets an hour and a half more, which is 5 instead of 4 hours, 5.5 instead of 4.
If that baby would have came in at $149, I would have been there.
And they were weighing pricing it at that. They were trying to get it down to even that. And I was like, if they had done that,
oh man,
how many copies of Pokemon they would have sold with that?
I mean, there might be a Pokemon and Switch Lite deal that could happen still, where you'll get it, at the price, but you'll also get a free game with it as well too.
Probably, I can see the way that Nintendo's trying to price it. I can definitely see them doing some pretty aggressive pricing during the holidays. But it's great. It's fantastic.
I was actually hoping for backlash based upon everything that was taken away, from the you can't use your what is it, the little figurines or whatever that you can put on the
Amiibo.
Switch. Yeah.
So the thing is, they took a lot of stuff out. They took out the TV. They took out the HD Rumble. They took out the Amiibo support. But the thing is, they took $100 off. So like they took stuff out, but they also took the price down.
Yeah.
And you also get like a weird trade-off where it has a nice D-pad instead of the little button Joy-Cons.
Yeah, everybody loves that D-pad. They're saying that D-pad is like old school and it's built really well.
It is. It's fantastic. It feels really good. So like that, I wish they would just release Joy-Cons that you could slot in with that actual D-pad.
They did, but it's not officially Nintendo. It's Hori, which is like the Nintendo buddy.
The Nintendo budget.
Yeah, but Hori does have a D-pad controller that you can use.
Yeah, and actually, I believe it's a little bigger too. It has like comfort grips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, it's fantastic. In fact, I haven't done it personally. Like I said, that was my brother's. I've been use it for a couple hours now. I mean, and it's a different experience. It's really weird. So in terms of quality control as well too,
yeah,
it's really sturdy. So whereas the Switch is heavy and it feels somehow heavy and flimsy at the same time because the connections on the two sides are a little flimsy. It's just one solid unit for the Lite. It's a great handheld. It really is. Like the Digital Foundry review was spot on, and then it's like if you're looking for on the go and you don't use a TV at all, then that's the way to go, for sure. And that's me. So I never use the Switch doesn't look good on the TV, so I never used it.
Yeah. So check this out. Since we're talking about the Switch, whatever, have you guys? I just put it in our chat. Did you guys see the? Let me actually send that. Did you guys see the hinge Joy-Cons?
Oh, hey, it just popped up over your face.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw this like a month ago though. Yeah, it's been a while since it showed up.
Yeah, so this might make an appearance this year. And they're sloped at an angle. Like you have the analog stick is actually at an angle, and you're able to hold it to where it's just a little bit more comfortable in your hand. So this is a Nintendo product. This is a something that they have rights to and all that stuff. So I'm curious to see if it actually ends up making it to a fruition.
That looks like some Switch.
I want to know what this game that this guy is playing. We got two figures here. This guy has an oversized sword. What's going on over here in figure 24?
No, that's just for the patent, and it has a patent number. And all that stuff.
No, I'm just being silly. But the thing is that like you hit it on the head. This is pro territory. This could be considered the pro Joy-Con or whatever you want to call it. But give us a dock that can upsize the power of the Switch, and maybe I'll put into it.
Oh, where did you hear that black magic?
Somebody in the chat was saying something about that, some nonsense or another.
No, they're gonna come with a whole new system next year, probably to rival their version of next gen.
That's funny because that's exactly
it's gonna be it's gonna be the Switch U.
Pretty much. That's exactly what I told my brother. I was like, because we were sitting up there talking, I was just like, and he hadn't traded his Switch in yet. He's like, damn, the Lite looks really good. And I was like, I'm going to switch to the Lite. I was like, because Nintendo's going to release the Pro next year once everybody does the next gen consoles, and that'll actually look good on your TV. He's like, damn, you're right. And then 20 minutes later, that LG Switch was gone.
So basically, you talked him into that.
Yeah, and then he went and got it, and then I was just like, okay, that's when I went over there and used it. And then, the only reason I haven't traded mine in is because I haven't had the time. But as soon as I get a moment to get over to GameStop, I'm getting a Lite.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right. Let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll get into Roundtable.
Thanks for listening to Ether Gamer Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome to another episode of Ether Gamer Radio Roundtable.
All right, man. It is going down in the industry. I mean, Sony is chirping. Man. I want to start with that because not because I was right and because, I'm like the Black Nostradamus when it comes all things Sony and Xbox to a degree as far as future, what was going on with Sony. But we have someone departing. Thieves, since you reminded us of the story, I'll let you go ahead and hit us with that.
Yeah, so we've got a little bit of interesting turmoil in Sony Town. Apparently there's some power struggles going on. The first victim of it is Sean Layden, long-time Sony face, 30-something years with the franchise, with the platform. Has been there as long as the PlayStation has been a thing, basically. And it's really interesting that we're having all this. It kind of sounds like there's some warring over the decision they want to go with the PS5. According to some devs, it's really concerning because Sony is like saying absolutely nothing in terms of giving updates on dev kits and stuff like that, which doesn't sound
the Skype guards
direction.
Are getting you, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead and repeat.
1 second. You got matrixed.
Yeah. So the recent for GameBiz put out an article that basically said that Sony is experiencing some kind of like power struggle and internal fights going on. The first victim of all of it being Sean Layden. It's weird. I don't know what to make of that, especially going into the next generation. They're not giving any information about the PS5. Devs are getting a little concerned. And it's just not good timing if we're only less than a year away from release of the PS5.
Dude, we're probably 4 months out from this February date where they're actually supposed to be showing the PS5 to the industry, which is already set in stone as far as, the pamphlets are out, the invitations have been sent, and the developers have said yes to this whatever event that Sony is having to show off the power of the PS5. And don't get it twisted, though. There are dev kits out in the wild from what we've heard from developers that will not be named that took their tweets down that were saying a little bit too much out there. So the dev kits now, whether or not they're in dev kit form as we stated last time with this U-shaped PS5 dev kit, or is it a PC that's mocked up to have the schematics of how the PS5 is going to run as far as the power and all that, the RAM and DDR, whatever it's using, DDR5, DDR6, all that stuff. So yeah, that is in the wild, whatever. But I think where this really comes into play is to the whole thing about not showing up at E3. Not re-showing software that they were working on, because again, everybody knows they had to have been working on for the last 3 to 4 years new content for the PS5, because like Broke is always saying, how they're going to release that console with no new titles or whatever. Is that really for a 2021 type release, which Broke, nobody's missing 2020. If you have the opportunity to launch a system and have this thing stamped 2020 on it, man, that's cake right there for publicity and media, whatever, to state of the art type entertainment and technology to have that 2020 on it. But so I definitely think
because it's a nice round number.
It's a nice round number, and it's a futuristic number. I mean, come on, 2020 is it's one of those catchphrase numbers that everybody loves when it comes to technology and all that stuff in the whole tech world. But yeah, so I definitely believe, trust me, if Phil would love for Sony not to make 2020 for the PS5. They would love to have a year's head start with Scarlett. Because I'm also hearing too, whatever, that there was possibly or is possibly a PS5 Pro opposed to a regular PS5, and that could be as far as the heads butting about just where they want to go with all of it, when they're launching it, what titles are being launched with it, why no PlayStation experience. They had a lull, and yes, are they resting on that or whatever, based upon the PS4 is still the number one selling gaming console of all time. Yes, the Switch has sold more faster, but still the one that holds the major number is still Sony when it comes to consoles sold. So eat that, Broke.
What? I'm just over here smirking about the obvious superiority of all other systems.
Well, I mean, we don't know though, dude. I mean, it could be an issue too where they wanted the PS5 to be more powerful than what it is, or it actually is. So who knows what it is? But I know for sure, whatever this February date for this this show to the industry, I think is going to go off without a hitch. I do think they're going to be back at E3. Because they would be fools if they weren't, and then they would have to do their own event. Yes, having a presser is one thing, but then actually being on the show floor, And then this whole thing with the way they're talking about doing E3 this year, coming up to where they're having like a whole fan week, and a dev week. I mean, a dev period or whatever of a couple days to let them do their stuff, whatever. But basically make it like Gamescom. So if that happens, I would think you want that PS5 on the floor. I mean, because you're talking about selling units.
Here's the way that I'm looking at it is that they've been quiet for a long time. Sure, they've had their events and they've released trailers like for Last of Us and stuff like that.
Don't say their little 20-minute freaking wannabe Nintendo experience.
Yeah, the thing is that they tried to do something that was different than what they were doing before, and it definitely didn't work out, especially because the content that we're releasing was kind of garbage in those events. But what I'm saying is that like they've been quiet for a pretty long time, and that's more of a worry than anything else, because even with like the Xbox, we're still getting consistent updates as to what is coming down the pipelines, as well as getting consistent updates to other things that are Xbox adjacent. It's been real quiet for the PlayStation, and like I mean, I don't play on it, so it's not really that big of a concern. But
they were real quiet within the past like 9 months. But if you go back to the beginning of the year, they were actually talking about the PS5. They were actually,
So why are they so quiet?
Because something happened.
Exactly. That's the conversation that we need to be having is that this thing that Thiege brought up was that would kind of put the brakes on any kind of future progression of information, because they're still trying to just kind of get everything stable at the top before they move forward. They don't really have a unified front right now because everybody wants to pull in different directions.
Okay. Well, to piggyback off of that, Sony has cut their PS Now subscription basically in half. And again, I don't know if this is due to Stadia and Project X Cloud, or in them just getting on top of everything. But basically, the monthly subscription is now $10, which it was $20. So it's curious to me, like, and the games they're adding, like God of War, which it's the 2018 version, which I think is amazing for that. Infamous Second Son, Grand Theft Auto, Uncharted 4, Thief's End. So to me, it's really interesting to is this a precursor to what's going on? Because again, they can still have a PlayStation experience in the early part of 2020 and announce the system and go all balls out, whatever, before Microsoft. Because everybody thought they were going to show like at least the schematics of what it could do or what it was using, because we know they're using the Ryzen chip, right? I think everybody is. They're moving forward with AMD, which is crazy because like Intel is supposed to be showing something next year, so I'm wondering what that's going to be in terms of GPUs and any kind of like, and they already have their processor, so I don't know if Intel burned their inroads early on, but that could be another contender. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see, because like I said, they're jockeying for something now that we don't know who's won the battle. We don't know if Sean Layden gave up and said, I'm out. He's been there for 30 years. So was that the thing, or did he, was he, the one holding things back? And so now now they're making their move, right now by, doing this subscription price drop. And and getting ready for to announce more info on the PS5 and getting people excited. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too crazy to where this system gets pushed back or anything like that. I definitely don't think that's what's happening.
What happened there?
Any thoughts, guys? I don't know. Somebody like that.
Yeah, there was a boop noise there, but I mean, in terms of gaming ecosystem, because I'm still, not really on Team PlayStation or anything, it's just weird that they've been quiet for so long. But this could be like a total savage move. The thing is that this was the conversation that we were having last E3, so 2 years ago, when all that they did was just show trailers, and you were like, they're just being quiet because they're getting ready to give us something big. And the big thing still hasn't come 2 years later. So I'm just like, what's going on?
Because I mean, come on. Do you think that they don't have any software ready for a new launch? I mean, come on, we know they do.
No, I'm pretty sure that's a thing that because the fact that the Scarlet's already out and about, if they didn't already, they definitely do now. Because I know that you talked about how people said that there were PS5 dev kits already out.
Yeah.
But if for any reason, if that was just all, incorrect rumors, exactly. If it has to be out by now. There's no way that they're going to let it, because they don't sit on the same platform as PC and as Nintendo. It's always been PlayStation and Xbox head to head. So this could be a real loss for them if they don't manage to release on the same time frame that Xbox releases, and it just Xbox shows up with the business and just swoops in and gets that big chunk of the market.
Yeah, you're right. But
that was exactly what happened with the 360. So Microsoft's hoping to repeat that again.
Yeah, this could be another repeat of that if PlayStation doesn't get it together, which is weird because like usually they're so very like on point about everything that they do. That was the whole showing for the PS4. The PS4 was the reason that it did so well is because it has such a massive fan base and because they hit the ground running. Like they had good games off the bat and they always were giving information about the PS4.
Yeah, and also Microsoft, helped them along with the whole how do you share games and you doing that system check or whatever every 24 hours.
Hey, maybe they're just returning the favor. Now it's our turn.
Yeah, but to me, I don't think dev kits went out this year or however many months ago, and they expect to have some actual software out. That's a AAA title by next year. That's impossible. So they've had to be working on this.
I would have to assume that what we saw from E3 a couple of years ago for Last of Us 2 was being played either on a PC or on a new gen system. Because you guys are talking about the downgraded graphics.
Yes.
So it has to be a thing.
Yeah, let's get into a little bit of that. I know we're all over the map, but we're still sticking with Sony. But let's talk about that because the graphics of Last of Us, it looks amazing. It's on the scale of Red Dead 2. It's on the scale of Call of Duty, the new one, Modern Warfare. Revamped. It's on that level for sure. But what we saw at E3 last year and the year before that, it was on a whole nother level. I mean, you're talking about you can see the ray tracing, the fidelity, the high end textures, all that stuff. Whatever was not there. It looks good. Don't get me wrong. It definitely looks good. But what you saw from that rain scene when that chick was hanging and with the two Asian twin or no, they weren't twins, but yeah, it looked freaking amazing. Period. It did, and it did not look like this.
No, it did. Like I was saying in the chat, this looks more like current generation, very good, like Red Dead. I say Red Dead because I still think that's like probably the best looking current gen game on consoles.
Yeah.
And it looks about as good as that, which is good.
Yeah.
But like, the previous trailer was very obviously at this point, I think we can all say a generation ahead what they can do.
Exactly.
Whereas like now the current trailer that we saw doesn't look as good as the PC version of Gears 5. Like it was a definite downgrade, and because the PC version of Gears 5 looks a generation ahead of the console version. So it's there was definitely some little Naughty Dog play some games there. And I think we all kind of expected that. We kind of hoping like,
I don't think they play games, Thiege. I when I say that, I know they wanted to get this game out on the PS4 because you would have to be stupid as a developer not to, based upon the 30 million some odd units, whatever. And so you want that to sell for sure. I do think that they were in a catch-22. They're like, we really want you to see this game because, again, who called them out? I forgot what studio called them out on what they were seeing, because they were saying what you were seeing is hogwash. It's not real. And then that's when the head of Naughty Dog came out and said, no, you were seeing the game running in real time. That was a whole big to do. I forgot what studio said that. But the bottom line is, and I stuck up for him. I was like, yeah, he's right in that sense or whatever, because what you're seeing is either playing on a high-end PC that's trying to emulate what the PS5 is going to do, or it's just running on a dev kit for the PS5. And he couldn't say, well, this is running on the PS5, because I guarantee you, I'm gonna be pissed if they try to make you rebuy this game. It better be a patch. That's one.
Oh, they're gonna make you rebuy it. Watch, you think so? It's gonna be a remaster. It's like literally the Last of Us came out, and then the PS4 version came out. Was like 6 months later.
Yeah. How much of a letdown would it be if 2020 rolls around and they don't have a PS5 ready, but they do have Last of Us 2 ready to go for the PlayStation 4?
What do you mean?
How would you handle that?
No, it's coming out in February. What are you talking about, bro?
No, but that's what it is. Is that like that's all that they have for you? They just have more information
like
about like the new release. Is gonna be like, here's the new release that's coming.
Oh, it's a wrap, dude. It's a wrap. I'm hanging up my Sony slippers. I'm tripping.
I think it'll be fair to say that they're having a lot of internal discord at that point. Like they got a serious fire in the warehouse over there.
If that issue happening, if that happens, dude. If you're talking about no E3. No event at all for Sony all year of 2020? Are you serious right now?
Yeah, because I mean, like they already skipped one, and I'm sure it has happened before.
No, it actually hasn't happened. That was the first time.
Oh, I thought that somebody had mentioned that one of the big players had skipped out.
No, Xbox and Xbox and Sony have always been there.
Okay, so what were we saying?
Nintendo's the one that always skips E3. They don't go to E3.
Yeah, they're a rogue animal though. They're just weird stuff. Yeah, but what I was saying about is that they already skipped one. So what's not to say that they'll just skip it again because they figured that they could save money and time by doing that. But
it's they were supposed to be gearing up for the launch of the PS5. Now, whether or not again they've not said they're going to be at E3, but they definitely were going to have an event that was going to showcase the PS5 in all its glory. And again, this developers conference that they're having in February is still on board for that. So I'm not too sure if that gets canceled. Then I will start to worry. If that gets canceled, I will start to worry because that's a serious issue. And to me, the system has to be ready, dude, because who was it that even touted what did he tout, like 2021? I think that's what you were hanging your hat on, broke. I forgot what person. Wasn't Mark Cerny, because Mark Cerny was saying Mark Cerny is supposedly ready to go. He's ready to go now, if it was up to him. And I believe he said he's been touting 2020 also. Well, I mean, Sony themselves have been touting 2020, but there is somebody ahead in Sony or whatever that did tout either 2023 or 2022. And everybody was looking at him sideways, like, what the hell? I forgot the guy on that. But,
I definitely didn't make that far of a prediction, but I for sure thought that the initial predictions of early on, before 2020, were too strong. Like it was the timing wasn't right, mostly because they wanted to.
I don't think it was. I think that might have been the Discord. I think, and I truly believe, again, there's, we always hear about stuff way after the fact or whatever. We got, what's the guy who came on the show that talked about his book or whatever about the industry? Damn, I forgot his name.
Yep.
But check out one of the shows that has him on it. but it's like the whole thing with Nintendo on how Sony even came to be, as far as it was just an add-on disc drive, whatever, for a Super Nintendo unit that they were making, a new one, and they went ahead and shot their load early and told everybody about it. So Nintendo was pissed and pulled the plug on it. So Sony invented the PlayStation. That's how it came to be. So I do believe it's possible that the PS5 was supposed to come out this year and was pushed back. And that's why you had Last of Us, could have been still that bridge, between the PS4. Because if you didn't buy a PS5, you still can play it in all its glory on the PS4. And again, we really haven't seen it run on the PS4. We've seen it run on the PS4 Pro. That's what they've been showing. Digital Foundry just did a breakdown of the trailer, and that's running off the Pro version. So we don't even know what it looks like on the PS4. But yeah, so who's to say that didn't happen? But the bottom line is, I think Ghost of Tsushima is a PS5 launch. To me, there might be still another version that will make it to the PS4 because of the install base is so damn big, and that's what Last of Us is doing. But I think Last of Us 2, I'm gonna be pissed, dude. I even told Soul I don't think I'm gonna purchase The Last of Us 2 because I want to play it in what I saw. What I saw, how that looked, I want to play it like that. And as of right now, you cannot play these titles on the PC. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
they're talking about it. But
would you let the chance of the story being ruined or spoiled for you be a thing?
The problem. That's the dilemma.
Yeah, because the onslaught of like memes would be enough to kind of create an architecture for what the story is.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you'd be able to avoid that just because we have to be so close to whatever's happening in terms of the meta.
It's like people who never watch Endgame know the damn story because of the meme.
Well, yeah, but my main man here, Thieves, whatever, was already, it's the same story as the DLC anyways.
That's true. You looked at that trailer and you were like, oh yeah, we've seen this one already.
Exactly. It's like, that was the black girl. This is, I don't know what she is. But yeah, so I don't know. But I don't know, dude. There's so many games that are coming out. You know what I'm saying? It's all about Cyberpunk for me. So
seriously, like look for the future that we know is going to be here, because there's still concerns about Cyberpunk. Not that it's not going to be a good game, but that it's going to be like ready.
I haven't finished my mega game of mega games, which is Red Dead. Everybody knows I'm a Red Dead fan. I still have not finished that game because the HDR is not quite right. But I still haven't got the story really spoiled for me. I'm working my way through it. But yeah, so I might just wait, dude, because I'm not gonna, dude, I'm gonna be freaking pissed at Naughty Dog. I'm gonna be talking crap on this goddamn podcast about Naughty Dog if they make us buy that title again. Yes, I know they did it before, whatever, but this is a new day with where this is patch central. You patch everything. Every game that you release the game before it's even ready, and you just patch it to death. So for them to make a remastered version or whatever, probably it's coming out in February. So we're looking at probably 7 or 8 months before the PS5 is launched. No way you do a remastered. You patch that damn thing like you've been patching everything else. No excuses.
Yeah, I feel like the whole trend of throwing an unfinished piece of meat at us and cooking it on the go is becoming like a very regular thing, and I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably my least favorite invention of the current generation. Not current, but like just the internet generation is that they can just patch broken games.
It's kind of like when you get a game, at least it happens on the Xbox. I don't know about other consoles, but it says it's ready to go at like 40%. But when you load it up, it's just like a tutorial or like a shaded down version of the actual game.
It's the menu. It's like,
basically you're ready to go at 40%. For real? But let's have a look at this.
If there's one game that's ever pulled this off from being straight up crap bullshit that was released, is No Man's Sky, and they made a hell of a turnaround. I'm telling you,
like for real, game, like is it really a game worth playing now?
It's past a game worth playing. If you can get that game for $19, it's a freaking steal. It is. They said you can play that game for what is it, a century, and still not see the same planets and species and everything else, whatever.
But lots of content does not equal lots of good content.
It looks amazing, dude. No, it looks great. It looks amazing.
I'm looking at the Steam review here, and it's still got a pretty low rating, but I can get it for $11.
Hey, that it's worth it. I'm gonna tell you right now. If it's the new one, well, I think all the DLC is free now, anyways. But yeah, no, it's worth it, dude. Trust me. If you can get that for $11 or whatever on PC, because that would be actually one of my PC purchases or whatever if I were to get a laptop. That game is amazing. You're tripping. I gotta give my hats off to them to stick with that title. I don't know what's coming next for them, or if anything is coming next for them, but they did. His vision was fully realized eventually. Unfortunately,
it just took a lot longer.
Yeah.
Exactly. What I'll have to do is I'll go on Twitch and see if anybody's streaming it.
Oh yeah, no,
and try and get a good feel for it there and see if it's really worth my $11. I worked very hard. I flipped a lot of hamburgers for that.
This is no Anthem. We're talking about $11, bro. That's a freaking beer. So, but yeah, and also let's go over to what's happening on Game Pass. Because that's going to be very interesting, because a lot of people don't know. If you don't know people who have Game Pass, which everybody should have Game Pass, pay that $2 upgrade or that $1 upgrade, get Game Pass for one game.
I'm glad that you are now a convert to the Church of Game Pass.
Shut up. I'm not really. You know what's so funny? I was talking to Soul about it or whatever. I was like, maybe I'm not really playing Gears a lot because I don't really feel that I own the game, and it's not a rush, and I have it. I have Game Pass for like 2 years, and so it's not a rush to go play it because I didn't purchase it. I don't know, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. The game that a lot of people don't know that you're going to get for free, which is going to be amazing on Game Pass, is the Outer Worlds. People don't know that it's
that's
Game
right,
Pass,
Game Pass exclusive.
Yes, because of Obsidian is owned by Microsoft. Yes, it's coming out on the PS4 because they already had that in the works, whatever, with contracts. But Outer Worlds 2 will only be a Xbox exclusive because they want to make that into I don't know, a trilogy or so. But yeah, so yeah, you can get the Outer Worlds.
All out in space.
Worlds. Yep, exactly. Well, exactly. I hope it's better than Fallout, dude. Fallout's not.
Well, it's by the same team that made Fallout New Vegas, and they still have a rabid following. So yeah, I wouldn't really.
I love New Vegas.
I wouldn't knock it down.
Yeah, but also you're gonna be able to play Dishonored, World Z. What else is out there? Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah, a lot of people were excited about that remake.
Yeah, that's old.
That's going to Game Pass as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, the guys from Gamertag Radio, they were flipping out about that one.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's old school. I love that game.
What? Yeah, that's for the.
Yeah. So here's the thing: is that like Sony's over here relying on oldies, and we're getting some straight, fresh bangers out from Xbox. So I don't know, man. Xbox seems to be the winner right now.
Yeah. He's hating on Sony or whatever, and for I don't know, his own, personal issues.
I'm just going to the club and I can't dance with these hits anymore, man.
Yeah, check this out. People of Sony environment, Sony world, if you think the Sony subscription is cool and you want to pay that half price now, go ahead and do it. But here's the thing. The PS5 will play all Sony titles from the PS1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. So just to let you guys know, you don't have to be beholden to their streaming service because you can't play PS3 titles on the PS4, but on the PS5 you're gonna be able to do all that. So don't
actually confirm that.
Oh yeah, that's confirmed.
You know what? Yeah. I might be more tilted to go back to PlayStation if they start using the black disc again. Put black on the back of those discs again. I'm in.
Oh yeah, well I mean you can pick up a copy someplace.
If I could pick up an old copy of Legends of Dragoon and put it in the PS5, I'll be there on launch day.
Yeah, they're about to revive the retro gaming scene if they do that.
No, that's
because let's take a walk over to Old Man Gripe over here, and I am upset that the Rock Band controllers are so freaking expensive. I have the microphones; they cost me $20. I have 3 microphones, but I can't find the guitars and I can't find the drums because they're like $150 for a brand new one on Amazon.
Oh yeah,
Goodwill.
Yeah, they're expensive, dude.
Oh,
what's that, Theech? You kind of
go find it. I say go search at Goodwill.
Oh, there you go.
I'm ready for that. Like, I think I'm going to get a legacy controller and just learn how to build my own controllers and repair them, so I never have to worry about that again.
All right, man. It's getting late. Broke is half drunk, so nah.
Yeah, that beer is destroying me right now. Obviously.
Yeah. No. Seriously. Any more news, you guys? What's up?
No, I think that's pretty it. It's still been pretty quiet. We have the oncoming wave of releases. We're at the beginning of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We got a few to start with, but we're not even close. We haven't even seen what crazy deals they've got set up for end of November, Black Friday, holiday kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's going to be a big talking point. Is what are they trying to liquidate before they move on to the next generation?
Yep, that's true. But and hopefully again we get more Sony information. Maybe they'll start loosening up those purse strings and loose lips and get some good information out there, because usually when something major happens, they kind of want to leak a little bit of information or whatever just to get people re-interested and don't look at what you see over here. Look over here. So I'm hoping that PS5 info starts to loosen up a little bit. Because we do have the Gamer Awards coming up also. So yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We still have some announcements coming, so we'll see.
Oh, for sure. All right. Well, this is Xpriest, Ether Gamer Radio. You guys ready to call it?
Yep.
All right. We are out. Peace.
Later.
Thanks for listening. For more information on the show, go to our website, ethergamerradio.com. You can always catch us on our Facebook fan page, You can hit us up on Twitter or our hosting site Podbean. Hit us up on iTunes and drop us a review. It helps get the word out to other gamers, so spread the love. As always, we would love to hear from you. Hit us up on Ether Gamer Radio hotline 916-877-5745. Until next time, stay gaming. Ether Gamer Radio.